Hey, is this a cool day or what? Are we having a good time? Right? If you build it, they will come, right? Somebody says. You know, what an awesome day today is. I mean, 3 years, FOC on the 27th of October. You know, back in 2012 and 13, when somebody came up with the idea of IMSC, and they said, hey, it'll pay a 3,500 manpower bill because we got to get the higher headquarters in the Pentagon and everybody below the threshold for staff positions. That's where it really came from, and the nexus of it on how can we do that? How do we consolidate? How do we centralize? How do we put it all together? And then in 2014, the great folks started getting together. And they started getting together at Bolin Air Force Base in a provisional building, not even a provisional command yet. August, I think, of 2014, they started looking at this and scratching your head saying, all right, how are we going to do this, right? And then in October, they really stood up a provisional team and started working on the pad 1404, which kind of guided us, you know, as to what IMSC does. And then for the next, almost the next year, they worked on the pad. And Major General Teresa Carter, the first IMSC Commander, declared, we started working our way toward that initial operational capability. And it took about a year to write the pad. So depending on when you look at, there's some different dates on when you can look at your birthday. But we went IOC in 2015, October 1st, 2015, and then a year later, to go from initial operating capability to full operational capability, FOC. 1 year later, in October of 16, declared FOC. And that short amount of time was because of the dedication of all our installation and mission support folks that were brought down to the team and really started getting after it. They started getting after it and were able to operationalize this pad, write the pad, operationalize the pad, and then that 1 year later on 27 October, 2 days from now, we can all have another birthday party on Sunday if you want to join me. Come on.
You know it.
Come on, baby. I'll be here.
All right.
But on the 27th of October 2016 is when FOC, full operational capability, you know, was dedicated or was determined. And look how far you've come. I mean, the initial manpower savings was the thought process behind why IMSC, but the expectations and the accomplishments in over that 3 years has just been eye-watering, and folks, you know, are like, hey, why didn't we do this 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Because we're not doing it individually. We succeed the way we succeed because we got 32 functionals and everybody together in the IMSC family. 32 functionals on the staff, 6 PSU FOAs, forward operating agencies that combine into the staff, and 4 PSUs left. 10 DETs that are out in the field as IMSC forward at those forward operating locations, being the A7 for the MAGCOMs that they lost when we centralized a lot of things back here. A lot more efficiency, a lot better decisions for the Air Force, prioritized, tooth to tail from the innovation through gap identification, strategy development, what ideas and how are we going to execute it, through feedback, and then replacement. That whole life cycle of installation and mission support is done by you. That's why you succeed. That's why you can save $60 million, you know, on a category management piece, or manage a CTO for the Air Force, or manage a $7 billion portfolio last year, or get $1 billion in June of 2019 and have it spent by 30 September on Tyndall Air Force Base, Offutt, J-Bear earthquake, and some SecAF go-dos. Nobody else could do that. Nobody else is able to do that. The only larger portfolio in the Air Force is the CAM portfolio. And that's in AFIMSC also. But that spreads across multiple weapon systems and multiple commands and multiple everything. They manage it, but it's not all the installation and mission support for 77 installations around the country. So my hat is off to you. Families, who's a family? Raise your hand if you're a family. If you're a spouse or a kid. My hat is really off to you. And that's kind of what this afternoon is about. It's about celebrating 3 years of operational capability, but it's about saying thank you to our families, our spouses, and our kids who are joined us today. It's about saying thanks for what you do and bringing you and turning this into a family fun time. Because you move with us. You don't get a say. Kids, you don't get to pick where you go live or where you go to school. Right? How many times have you moved? He said, you talking to me?
He said, I'm not mic'd up.
Right. So my daughter, when she went into the 9th grade, had moved 8 times. It was in 7 different schools, so you're probably catching her. But she didn't get a choice. And my spouse has to move. And spouses, you have to change jobs or shift certifications. We come into work and I got 3,000 of my best friends wearing this uniform or as an Air Force civilian every day. But you don't. You have to make friends. You have to build the household. You have to work out the schools. You have to find the soccer teams or the football teams. You got to take care of the dog and get the dog shots, right? You are the key to our family's success. And I just want to say thanks to all the families that are with us today for doing that and being with us. So before we cut the cake, we do have 4 plank holders with us. So a plank holder are the first 4 that got to walk off the pirate ship into the water. And we got the pirate ship right over here. It's down in one of the bays, right? But these 4 fine Americans standing here in front of me are part of the original team that helped stand up IMSC back in those 2014, 2015, and they were here when we went FOC years. They're dwindling. The Chief's getting ready to leave us. And then there's one more that's not here. Dave Martinez isn't here, and then we'll be really down to 4. But we like to try to pull them together and say thanks every year also for setting us up for the success that you did. So we're going to cut the cake, but come by, shake their hands, go to the different bays, get out of your cubicle, right? We complain about cubicles and small space. But hey, there's some pretty cool stuff you could do with cubicles, right? I mean, they're like Harry Potter down here and Alice in Wonderland and everything. Now, the trolls, get out and see them. Get away from your bay, go to the other bay. Families, go see it all. But we're getting ready to cut some cake, and everybody grab a piece of cake and have some good trick-or-treating and fun with the kids. Hey, baby girl. This one's moved 4 times. She's 5. She's 5. She's my little bat. So, Mike, what do you say, man? You want to cut the cake with me? You guys, let's all cut the cake. Come on, we can all do this. Y'all all hold it. You hold it, and we'll all put a hand on it. Come on, Chief. Come on, Tony. There you go. All right, so we're going to cut the cake. All right? For 3 years. Here we go. 3 awesome years.
All right.
30 more to go. Right on. Good job, guys.